Hello, Geometry. We're looking at lesson 106 on circumscribed and inscribed figures. And there's a key difference here between the teacher's book and this lesson practice. The teacher's book has this as an inscribed circle, an equilateral triangle inscribed in a circle, which changes the key. So that might be kind of confusing if some of you are checking your answer. You may have actually had the right answer, but because the books are different, it didn't reflect the correct answer. So let's look at this the way you were doing it. We have a equilateral triangle that is circumscribing a circle on the inside here. So we're going to set this up. We know that this is a radius of 7. So let's draw a line here between this point and this point, and use the fact that this is a right triangle to help us find this measurement, right? Oh, let me go back to my pen. Scroll, let's go back to my pen here. Okay, if we can find this measurement, then we can double that to find the whole, and then multiply that by 3 to find the perimeter. All right, so we know that if this is an equilateral triangle, then each of these is 60, and then half of 60 would be 30. So this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So 30, 60, 90, we know that this is 1, this is 2, and this is the square root of 3. Those are our ratios, right? So this would be x times the square root of 3. The 90-degree angle would be 2x, and this would be our x term, which happens to be 7. So that means that this will be 7 times the square root of 3, and we need to multiply that by 2 for the extended side, so times 2. That equals 14 times the square root of 3. And then to get the perimeter, let's multiply that by 3. So 14 times 3, 14 times 3 is 42. So we have 42 times the square root of 3 for our perimeter. And sorry, I wrote this in A, but this is actually problem B, right? And we're told to round the answer to the nearest whole number. So let's go to the calculator here and take 42 times the square root of 3. And that'll be 70. It'll be 72, so approximately 72.7, which will make it whole number approximately 73. Okay, so hopefully that's a little better there for you. That's actually, though, the exact same answer. So either way, it's going to be, whether it's inscribed or circumscribed, you're going to arrive at the same answer. Okay, now for D, Mariah is baking a casserole. The casserole calls for a square mold, but she only has a round pan. In order to make the casserole square, Mariah has fashioned a square mold out of aluminum foil. If Mariah's round pan has a radius of 8 inches, what must be this length of one side of her square mold round to the nearest tenth of an inch? So let's look at this. I'm going to draw these shapes here. So she needs to have a square mold, but she only has a circle. So I'm going to draw a circle here, and then we're going to put a square mold in here. Mine's looking a little rectangular. Let's just pretend like a square, though, that these are all, oops, I'm just going to use tick marks here to show that these are all supposed to be congruent, right? Okay. And we're told that the radius of this round pan is 8 inches. So if we take anywhere out here, we have a radius of 10 inches. Or I could go out this way as well, this way, and so on. No, that one didn't align very well, though. So let's just stick with this. All right, so I need to find the length of this. So I'm going to use the fact that this is a right triangle, and then I can use that, double it, and find the perimeter of my square. So if these angles here, well, basically if I This is a right triangle. This would be divided by 2, right? This is that would be 45 degrees. So I can use the fact that this is a 45-degree angle to help me here. So let me see here. So 45, I'm looking for the hypotenuse. Oh, I had the hypotenuse. That's 8. And I'm looking for the adjacent side, right? So that would be cosine, right? Adjacent hypotenuse. So the cosine of 45 degrees equals our unknown and our hypotenuse of 8. So we're going to take 8 times the cosine of 45 to find our x value. So 8 times the cosine of 5. Oh, I'm sorry, the cosine of 45. Okay, and I'm getting approximately 5.65. I'm going to go out 4 digits, so approximately 5.6569. Let me multiply that by 2 to get the one side length. So I have a side length of approximately 11.3137. And they want to know if this mold what must be the length of one side of a square mold round to the nearest tenth of an inch. So the mold needs to be approximately 11.3 inches on each side. So hopefully that helps you. You could have approached these problems a couple different ways. I just happened to use, this is the method I used. You could, one of the things is you're just using these to apply different methods of everything you know to figure out these unknowns. All right, if you have any additional questions, please let me know. We'll talk to you soon.